Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive?
Always ready to dive in.
Today we're looking at Reddit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and specifically this question that got tons of responses.
Okay.
So the question was, what's a sign someone has been through a lot of shit?
Interesting.
And it's amazing how much you can learn about like
Ah,
the human experience and trauma
right.
just from reading these responses.
Yeah, it's like crowdsourcing wisdom almost.
Totally.
People sharing their experiences.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that jumped out at me was how many people talked about
Uh-huh.
how trauma like changes how you interact with other people,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
like avoiding questions about family.
It makes sense though, right?
Yeah,
That
if every time someone asked about your family, it brought up all this painful stuff,
right.
you'd probably start avoiding those conversations too.
Definitely. And it's like a way of protecting yourself.
Absolutely.
Creating boundaries.
Like just to keep those emotions at bay.
Yeah. There was one user, Sleeping Lessons, who said,
Their wife had this observation. They said, people who've been through a lot don't ask about family because they don't want to be asked about theirs.
wow, that's so true.
It's like this subtle thing.
yeah.
But it really shows you how trauma can impact even the most basic interactions.
Absolutely. It's a good reminder that we all have these invisible scars.
Yeah.
And what might seem like a normal question to one person
Right.
could be a huge trigger for someone else.
Yeah, and speaking of triggers,
Okay.
another big thing that kept coming up was
Yeah.
how hard it is for people to ask for help.
Oh, yeah. Even when they desperately need it.
It's like they'd rather just struggle alone.
It's really sad when you think about it.
It is. Why do you think that is?
Well, imagine if, like, every time you relied on someone in the past,
Uh-huh.
you were let down
Right.
or things went badly,
Yeah.
you would learn to only depend on yourself.
Right, because that feels safer.
Exactly. Trauma can make it feel like asking for help is weak.
When it's really not.
Yeah, it's actually incredibly strong.
But I guess trauma can distort that.
For sure, it messes with your perception of vulnerability.
So asking for help becomes linked to all that past pain.
Exactly, and that fear of being hurt again can be so powerful.
I saw some people even mentioned having panic attacks
Oh, yeah.
when they had to ask for help.
Especially financial help.
Yeah, that's tough.
It is, and it shows how deep those wounds can go.
Definitely.
And it can really hold people back from getting the support they need.
Absolutely. Another thing that came up a lot was like feeling emotionally detached,
Oh, yeah, almost like shutting down their feelings.
right? Like one user, Dana Foxglove, called it their superpower
Interesting.
for dealing with all the chaos in their life.
Mm.
They said they become like a robot.
Which is kind of sad when you think about it.
Yeah, it is. And it made me think about
Oh.
how trauma can really mess with your ability to
Yeah.
regulate your emotions.
Like your emotional responses are out of whack.
Right. It's like,
Instead of having a full range, you're stuck between being totally silent
yeah.
or like blasting at full volume.
So you either shut down completely
Right.
or you overreact to things that seem small to other people.
Exactly. It's like that pressure cooker analogy.
Oh, yeah.
You keep suppressing your emotions.
And then
They're
eventually,
gonna explode.
it's crazy how much we can learn about
I know, right?
like the human experience from Reddit.
It's fascinating.
It's like a crash course in trauma.
Totally. And it reminds you that everyone has a story.
Yeah.
And a lot of those stories involve pain and hardship.
Even if someone seems fine on the surface.
Exactly. You never know what people are carrying around inside.
That's so true. But, you know, it wasn't all doom and gloom in these responses.
Oh, good.
A lot of people also talked about how going through tough times can lead to positive changes.
Right, like developing more empathy.
Exactly, or being more compassionate.
That's the amazing thing about humans.
Yeah.
We can find ways to thrive even after going through awful things.
Like that idea of post-traumatic growth,
Yes, exactly.
where people find meaning and purpose in their experiences.
Turning pain into compassion.
Right, so instead of being defined by their pain,
Mm-hmm.
they use it to fuel their growth.
I love that.
There was this one comment that really stuck with me
Oh, yeah.
from a user named FoolsInLove22.
Okay.
They said that people who've been through it
Yeah.
often become the kindest and most generous people
That's beautiful.
because they really get it.
they understand what it means to struggle.
Right, and that understanding can make them incredibly empathetic.
Absolutely. It's like their pain has become this superpower of compassion.
And I think there's a lesson in there for all of us.
Even if we haven't experienced major trauma.
we can all be more mindful
Right.
of the struggles that other people might be facing.
Just acknowledging that everyone is fighting their own battles.
Can make a huge difference.
Totally.
It's like we all have these hidden depths.
Exactly, and sometimes those depths are filled with pain.
Yeah. And another thing that came up in the Reddit thread was people who've been through a lot
Yeah.
having this almost like sixth sense for danger,
Oh, yeah, like they're always on edge.
right? It's actually a recognized symptom of PTSD.
It is. It's called hypervigilance.
Hypervigilance.
Yeah, basically their brain is always looking for threats.
Even when there isn't one.
Right, it's like their internal alarm system is stuck on high alert.
So even small things can set them off.
Exactly. It makes it really hard to relax.
I can see how that would be exhausting.
Oh, for sure.
Several people mentioned things like needing to check exits.
Yeah, or sit with their back to the wall
It's like their body is stuck in fight or flight mode.
all the time, even when there's no danger.
It makes you realize that sometimes what looks like rude behavior
Mm-hmm.
could actually be a trauma response.
Absolutely. Like if someone seems distant,
Or avoids eye contact.
they might just be feeling overwhelmed.
Right, not trying to be disrespectful.
It's a good reminder to be more understanding.
Definitely, you never really know what someone's going through.
Yeah.
So what does all this mean for us?
Good question.
I think this deep dive into Reddit shows us
Yeah.
how much trauma can impact people's behavior.
In ways we might not even realize.
It's a call to be more mindful,
More patient.
more understanding.
With ourselves and with others.
We all have scars.
Some are just more visible than others.
And if any of this is resonating with you,
Yeah.
maybe it's a sign to be a little kinder to yourself.
Healing takes time.
And it's okay to ask for help.
There's strength in reaching out for support
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us on this journey
through the world of Reddit.
and the insights it has to offer.
If you found this deep dive valuable,
We would love for you to subscribe to Voices of the Soul.
so you don't miss out on future conversations,
And for even more thought-provoking content.
check out Shauna Pelage on YouTube.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Until next time.